What's good, everybody? Welcome to Bowler's Paradise. My name is Ben. I'm a USBC Silver Certified Coach, and today we are taking a look at the all-new Max Bias from Radical. Before we fire this one up, be sure you subscribe to the channel. It's free, it's easy, and it is the best way to help us bring you the best non-biased and cross-brand reviews in bowling. So while you're down there, be sure you hit that notification bell too so you don't miss out on our next review. The legend of the great Mo Pinel lives on with this all-new Max Bias from Radical. This first release from the brand in the all-new Mo Heritage series pulls absolutely no punches in its fight to be the strongest ball on the market today. On the inside of this hook monster is the maximum results asymmetric core, highlighted by the highest intermediate diff of any ball in production today from the three major manufacturers. To match that strength, this one features the all-new HK22 Plus textured hybrid cover finished to a very fuzzy 1500 abralon out of the box. For the layout, I decided not to do anything crazy. Normally, I would try to counteract this much natural strength with a layout meant to get the ball down the lane, but instead, I went with a simple 5x4.5x3 2LS layout. This is a great layout for strong pieces to seek a benchmark style motion without intentionally pigeonholing the piece into being one very specific or a single use case kind of shape. And on the lanes, even though this thing has an absolutely massive engine, I was pleasantly surprised by how continuous it was off the spot. Typically, I struggle to keep strong pieces like this from rolling out, but even though the Max Bias is very round from front to back, it still gets through the pins surprisingly well. As I found more oil volume, the shape definitely improved, which makes complete sense all things considered, but I had this thing written off as a sport shot only piece, but the look on the lanes tells a different and more usable story. And that was my favorite part about throwing this one from Radical. On paper, this is not a great choice except for a few select styles of bowlers, but similar to the DV8 hater, once that cover shined up a bit, the shape and carry got surprisingly good. I didn't feel like I had to force myself to do anything too challenging to see good results out of the Max Bias, which I really appreciate out of a big ball like this. Now, of course, there's downsides to a piece like this as well. First, you need to have some ball speed to have an effective path to the pins with this one. There's just too much hook potential built in to throw it slow and expect to carry the corners. Also, because of the very dull surface grit out of the box, you'll basically have a completely different bowling ball once you throw this one for 10 games. If you like the way this one hooks out of the box, plan on ordering a couple abralon pads to go with it, because that sort of surface will not last for very long. Looking at a potential arsenal build, I think pairing this one with a track theorem and a GB4 hybrid would make for a very interesting choice of three options. Both of those two pieces have been proven to be some of the best options available across the 7 Brunswick brands, and all three are hybrids with very different design intents. They would play off of each other pretty well, and if you're just bowling league, would give you enough flexibility to strike a few more times without having to be super creative. Now, jumping to our cross-brand comparisons, we first took a look at the Evoke from Motive, and here I see a piece that is a little bit cleaner through the front part of the lane with a more even shape in the mid lane, but those differences are really subtle. Both of these options have very strong covers, so if you're between these two options, I'd say those with a higher ball speed will have better success with the Max Bias. Then we looked at the Harsh Reality from 900 Global, and here I see a much more prototypical skid, hook, and roll kind of shape. Now, I don't know too many folks who like the Harsh Reality super dull specifically for that reason, so even though this one and the Max Bias fill similar parts of an arsenal, oil volume is really what matters between these two, as the Max Bias will handle higher volumes more effectively. But with that, here's my recommendations on the types of bowlers that I think will match up well with the Radical Max Bias. The first is speed dominant players. I think this one is pretty self-explanatory, but if you consistently struggle with getting the ball to slow down and up to the pocket, this is the top of the line of choices available today to make that problem evaporate entirely. The second recommendation is for high tilt players. I think this one is also a pretty obvious recommendation, but if I had more than 12 degrees of tilt, I'd be hard pressed to not carry this piece with me everywhere I go. The fact that it's got enough power to slow the ball down, but still have some kick off the spot is a high tilt player's dream solution for combating fresh conditions. The legacy of Mo Pinel has impacted the bowling world for decades at this point, and with releases like the Max Bias, Radical is sure to continue that impact for decades to come. And you can pick this up today and much more at bowlersparadise.com. Be sure to use the discount discount code YouTube at checkout for free shipping. Thanking to my friend Ryan Shafransky for the drilling of this piece, and to Dale's Weston Lanes for letting us film this video. If you haven't yet, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more balling product reviews. But as always, remember you guys, having the right ball in your hands, now that's a baller's paradise. Peace.